Hi guys, welcome back and welcome to another Flutter tutorial using VelocityX. So as you can see on the right hand side and as you have seen in the trailer, we are going to design this UI, and this looks like a very easy UI at first, but there are a lot of components which are here, which I'm gonna talk about. So as of now, you can see on the top there is this menu icon, which is actually not an icon. I'll show you how I made this very easily, which is very easy actually. Then there is a neuromorphic design which you can see on this particular circular image, and then there is a rich text, and this text hyperone also have some animation which comes from the left, which I'll show you. And then in the tab bar also, if you'll see, these four icons also animates, and then this south work, this subtitle in the list style kind of also animates. So all these things we are gonna write from the scratch, and I'll show you how you can do it very easily using VelocityX in just about 200 lines of code. So that's what we are going to do. And then guys, there is one more thing, that there is a task for you, that try to make the same UI, okay, in normal Flutter way without using any library, and then just write in the comments that how much lines of code it took. So let's start without wasting any time. And so right now the VelocityX version being used in this project, Flutter looks, is 0.4.1. I'll change it to 1.0.0, which is the latest version which just got introduced. And now since we have 1.00, now in the lib I'll create a new folder. I'll name it travel. So this is a travel kind of UI, and I am going to name it travel page dot. And here I will import few things. One would be material. The another thing which I want to import is VelocityX, of course. And then I'll create a stateful widget. I am going to name it travel page. Travel page is what we need. And I'll also run in the emulator as well. I have the Android emulator. In the meantime, what I can do in the main dot, as you can see, we have DM Sans font. So if you see this font, this is not DM Sans, this is actually Leto. So I am going to use Leto font. I'm using Google Fonts library for fonts. And similarly for for this home, I am going to change this login page 1 to something like what we have. So let me open the simulator as well. So you can see this is the previous UI which I made once. Let me just shrink the size a little bit so that you can see both of them, I guess, all together. Yeah, so something like this, so that I can see both of them. Now rather than login page 1, I would call it travel page, and this will be very simple like this. Okay, now to make this particular UI, okay, what you have to do. So in that travel page, first of all, we will create a scaffold, and the scaffold needs something. Okay, so it needs a background color. So background color, we are gonna give vx.purple 500. This is what we need, and you can check the color. So this is the iOS screenshot. We are working on Android, so that should be fine. Like you can do the same thing in iOS as well. Now we need an app bar, and for app bar, let's wait. Okay, for this app bar, we will set some properties as well. So for the app bar, I'll just take an app bar, and you can see we have got an app bar, which is definitely not something which we want. So I'll just make the background color as transparent. Then I have to give a leading. So leading is not an icon. This time I don't have such icon. Like menu icon is little different from this. So what we can do, we can use Vstack over here, and we can create this icon by ourselves. And you can see this shadow as well. So let's make the elevation as 0 for this app bar. Now inside this Vstack, what we are gonna do, we can take a VX box. So VX box is container, and we can give it size. So let's say width will be 20 and height will be 2, and then it should be a white color, and then we can make it. So now you can see we got something like this, which is pretty good, just a single line. Then let's give some padding to this Vstack. Okay, so I can say P only. I just want to give the padding from left, which can be 16, and top, okay, which can be 16. So now I have this icon over here ready. Similarly, now I need two more icons, similar icons. So I'll just copy this 2 times and I'll just change the width of them. So now you can see we have 3 icons, but all of them are kind of very much like overlapping. So like there is no the distance between them. So just kind of like tight kind of situation. So I'll give 5.height box in between them so that they does not look bad. And then this one I'm gonna make 28, and let's make the last one as 15. And you can see we have the same icon what we have on the right hand side. And pretty much that's what you have to do to create your own menu, because of these lines. This is very easy to achieve. And this also we could do like using an image or something, but it's good if you can create by yourself. So app bar is done. Now let's come to the body part. We can see what body is divided into two kind of things. So let's take a Vstack, and we will add 2 boxes over here maybe. And then those 2 boxes, one can be of this purplish box which is the background color, and the second one can be something else for maybe this white box. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's take first box, so VX box, and we can call it let's make it directly, okay, rather than doing anything. And inside this box, what I'm going to have, I am going to have a child, okay. And then what I can do, I can have another stack over here. So for this stack, what I can have, first thing I want is this this square image, okay. So I need some box over again. So I can again use a VX box, and I can let's make it as well. And now this is kind of a neuromorphic kind of box, okay. So this VX box needs some more properties. So first of all, I will make it let's say set the size of this box, okay. So width and size, or let's make it square 100, and then rounded as well, rounded full. And let's make it do you want to give it some color? Let's not give it a color, but rather make it neuromorphic. So I can just say neuromorphic. And then also for this particular VX box, for this child, we are gonna make it Vstack, or you can also use column here, okay. This is totally fine. And also we are gonna make it make centered, so that we can take it in center. You can also use column here. So both of these things work like similarly, okay. So now we have this VX box, rounded full neuromorphic. And now let's give some color. So when you are using neuromorphic design, then the color should match. So VX dot purple 500 again we will give, so that colors can match, okay. And now you can see we have this neuromorphic design. Let's change the curve as well. I think the by default curve would be, let's just see what is the curve, concave only. So that should be fine. Let's give some elevation, 30 elevation, and this looks good. Now rather than this just this box kind of thing, I want an image over here, okay. So I have a URL like image URL which I just want to copy, which is my image. And I can create here, let's say final pk image URL, and I can paste it over here on the top so that it does not look bad in the bottom, okay. So now what I'll do, here I have one more property after neuromorphic, that bg image, background image, okay. So I can set some background image for this. So background image takes a decoration image, so I can just say decoration image. It has an image property which takes image provider, so network image. And I can pk image URL I can pass, and we got the image, and that's what we wanted, right? Now we got the image, looks good to me. What else we want? So we want some text below this, right? So this is our VX box. We have the column. So now we this is a rich text. You can see hi is not bold, but Pawan is bold, okay. So what I'll do, I'll create a text called hi, okay, comma, I'll give some space, and then I'll say dot rich text, Okay, so rich text is white, so I'm gonna make it white, and then let's make it XL2, and then maybe I can make it. Okay, looks good. I think yeah, it looks good. Now if you want to give more like rich text can take more properties. Let's say there is something called with text span children, where I can have some children over here. So I need one more children, which is Pawan. So I can just say Pawan dot text span, because this is a text span. Then again dot white is what I want, and if you skip it, then also it will take white. And bold dot make. So now if you'll see, we have the same thing which we got in the design, but rather we have just some padding over here. So for this PK text, I am going to give some padding called P8, and now it is looking good. And the last one is just solo traveler. So I'll put a comma and I'll say solo traveler dot text dot white dot make. And this should be fine. Like this is the design which we have created. Okay, now we need a text field over here, which we can do very easily. It's not a big deal. So text field, for text field you can just use normal text field, or you can use VX text field, whatever you want. So we don't want a border, so I'll give it a border type. Let's say VX border type none. Okay, so we have this text box now. Now let's give it some border radius. Okay, so border radius, let's give it 18. Then what else? We can give it some fill color, because the color which we want, color we can leave right now. Let's give some hint. Hint text can be search. That's what we want, search. So we have this search over here, which is not perfectly fine. Content padding also I would like to give from top, which should be 13, or we can remove it for now. That should be fine. Okay, so autofocus false, and border color, let's also give some border color if we have border. Or we don't have border, we have removed the border, that is fine. We also need this search icon. Okay, so prefix icon, I can just say icons dot search outlined is there, search outline, let's use that. And for color, it should be a white color, so use this. Okay guys, so we got some amazing result over here, but this is not entirely what I want. I need more stuff from this. So what I can do, I can provide a custom theme, so that I can give it a kind of dark version, right? So custom theme, I can say theme data over here, and then in the theme data I can set the brightness as dark, so it will automatically give me white. Okay, so since we are adding a prefix icon, this search goes on the top. So content padding top, let's say 13 now. Now it's in the center, this is fine. Now we have given some color over here. This is looking fine, everything is fine. What else would we be needed is this text field. If we can make this, corner radius as there is this border is not customizable a lot with VX text field. So what we can do, we can directly say dot corner radius, and we can give some radius, let's say 10, and then also let's give some padding of P16. And yes, we got the search box, which is looking good. Now the fill color, the inside color is little different, so I can give a fill color over here, and again I can give, let's say, gray 200, which is looking totally gray. With opacity, let's set to 0.3. And yes, this is the color we want, guys. So this is it. This is all you have to do for this particular design. Now what we will do, now we have to create something else. So this is something which we have already created. We have this column, we have this VX box, the first VX box actually, and this VX box have this make centered and all. We can also set its height. Okay, so let's say if I say that it should take only 32% of the width, and we can have another VX box which will take the like the entire width, okay, the other width. So what I'll do, let's create this thing, which is this card you can say, or this design, which is a VX box kind of. So I can say, let's say clip, we have to clip it. So I will use clip or rect, which is taking the border radius. So I can give some border radius over here. So border radius dot only, if there should be only, because we just want to give the border radius from top left. So radius dot circular, and it should be like 20 radius is fine, more than sufficient. And then top right, which should be radius dot circular, okay, and 20 again. And to this clip rect, I will expand it, okay, dot expand, so that it can take the entire space. And inside this clip rect, we will have another VX box. And let's do one thing, let's give its color here, dot white dot make. And you can see this same effect over here, right? This is the VX box which we have created. Now this VX box will also take some child. So for child, what would we need a tab bar and some tab view, okay? For this tab bar, what we will need a tab controller as well, okay? So what I'll do, I'll go here on the top and I will create a tab controller, okay? So here, after this thing, after this image, we can come and we can say that you know, I need a tab controller as well. So tab controller, and I can just say tab controller, and I can like override this init state, super dot init state. And then I can so I need a mixin over here, so I can say with ticker provider mixin. Why? Because if you will initialize this tab controller, okay, then it takes something, and that something is, see, this vsync. For vsync, we need the ticker provider mixin. And if you want to do any kind of animation, then also you have to do it. And for the length, we will make it 4, because we have 4 items, okay? So this is all you have to do. Now going back to our code, where we have to specify the tab bar. So I'll go back here in the VX box, in the child. I can have another stack, okay? So another stack means column. So in the column, the first thing will be the tab bar, and the second thing will be the tab view, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'll use a tab bar here, which is a widget, comes with Flutter. And we can have indicator and tabs and all those things. So first of all, we have to specify tabs. So it requires 4 tabs, okay? So what I'll do, let's make the tab, okay? So icon, okay, icons dot map. So this icons, it should be icons dot map. So this is our first tab, and let's also give it some size. So size can be, let's say 30, okay? And yeah, so this is our first tab. Let's add 4 tabs similar to this, okay? And the second tab will have this pin drop icon. Third one can have the restaurant icon, and the fourth one can have person icon, okay? We need to hot restart because we have given tab controller and all, okay? We haven't specified the controller for this, so we have to specify the controller as well. And you can see we got this, right? We got this thing looking pretty good, but still not the best. So we have to give some properties. So let's set the indicator color. So indicator color, let's make it purple, because it takes a material color. So now it's purple, which is fine. Let's say what would be the indicator size, right? So indicator size, tab indicator size, I guess. Tab indicator size should be according to label, how much like how big label is, right? Or how big the item is. Then we can also set the label color. So label color we will again set vx.purple 500 to match the theme, which is good. For unselected, we will change it. So unselected, we can just say gray 400. Yeah, this is looking better. And then we also want to give some padding. So I can just say M16, which is nothing but edge insets 16 padding from all side. So label padding, and this looks perfectly fine if I select it. And this also has some animation in the original design, which I'll just add. Okay, and yeah, this is all you have to do, and we have written almost 100 lines of code so far. Now what I want is basically, guys, okay, I'll go back. Okay, now what I want, I have a tab bar, but I would also want a tab bar view. Okay, and also I want to increase the height a little bit of this tab bar. So let's give some height. Let's use the percent height, and let's multiply it by 8. And the height is still the same, but yeah, once I use the tab bar controller, then I think you will see the difference. So let's remove it for now. Okay, now we need a tab bar view. So I'll use a tab bar view over here. It needs a children, it needs a controller. So controller we will give again tab controller. And for children, what I have to do, because it has 4 items, okay, so we have to create 4 widgets. So let's say 1, 2, because I just have a dummy data, so that's why I'm doing this. 3, 4. You will provide a list or something probably, right? So once you do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is something which I am doing. Then you can say map, okay, and then you can say to list. And what we will do, we will add something over here in this E part, right? So right now what I'm gonna add is a Vstack, and this Vstack is nothing but a column again, and this will take few things. Okay, so first thing which it will take is the text itself, and to make it work, we have to give now the height to it. Okay, so we have to give some height over here. So percent height into 8, and then it should work. Not working. Okay, so let's give some things to this this list. Okay, because otherwise it won't work. Okay, because this is a Vstack. Okay, we don't know how much height it is gonna take, so let me just copy it. And why it is giving an error, because this tab bar does not know that, you know, how much height required for this tab bar view, because we are using a column or we are using a Vstack. So for this tab bar view also we will expand it. So yeah, we got the same result. So this is fine. Now inside this Vstack, we have a text called discover places in London. So we can just say discover places in London. Okay, and then again it's a text. It's of kind of grayish, dark gray, so gray 16, let's say. Then XL2, it's also bold, and dot make. So let's see what we get. We got this, and this entire Vstack can have some padding. So Vstack is this, so we can also say P16 for padding it. And now we got it, right? And now we need these travel cards, okay, because otherwise we won't be able to make it, right? So for this travel card, what we can do, we can create one and then we can extract that widget. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's have a H stack, which is basically a row, and we need one image, and we need one like one column with all this text and all. So what I can do, I can say image.network, and I can let's say the image is pk image URL for now. And okay, this is so big, we have to change the width and height. We will do that. And then the fit as well, let's change the fit later. Then let's give it some width and height. So width, height, so width can be 35% of the width, so context.percent width into 35. Okay, and height can be around 100. And yes, so this is how it will look like, which is fine. Now I have one thing. Now I also want to give some kind of border to it. So I can just say corner radius 20. 20 is fine, or 10 should be fine. Okay, we will change the image and then you will see it how it works. So now we have this. Now I give some width box over here, 20 dot width box, some width, and now we will have a column again. Okay, so for the column, what I'll do, I'll have another Vstack, or you can use direct list. Okay, and you can provide a Vstack later. So first thing I want is a title. So let's say Tower Bridge is the title. So Tower Bridge dot text dot semi-bold dot make. Okay, so now we got Tower Bridge over here. We need more information, let's say subtitle or height box and all those things. So 3 dot height box, and we need a subtitle which is, let's say, south work. So south work, okay, dot text, and this is a subtitle kind of text. Okay, so we have to do that as well. So south work looking fine. We can also provide a shimmer effect here, shimmer, which will make it kind of good looking, and it also have this animation sort of. Then we will give a height box of 5, and now we need a rating. Okay, so we can use something called, so there is a rating as well as there is something called a rating count. Okay, which is by default 100, like it is hard coded. So we will take a h stack. H stack is nothing but again a row kind of, so you can also take a row, so you can use whatever you want. So first thing would be vx rating, where we will say that, okay, on rating update there will be something. So we got this rating, and we can set its size as well. So let's make the size as 13, which is fine. And then after this we will give a width box of 5. Okay, 1 second, width box of 5, and then we need that 100 in the brackets, right? So we can just say 100 over here dot text dot access dot gray, not like gray 600 should work. And yes, we got it. So this is kind of our design which we have created, right? Also this entire column which we are using, right, or this h stack, can be like, this is not a starting point, right? Just to make sure that it starts from the right place, what we can do, okay, so we have this column. So here it should have a property called cross alignment. So cross axis alignment dot start, let's say, if it pushes, okay, this is fine, this is all working. So now let's give some corner radius to this particular h stack as well. Okay, so I can give it a corner radius of, let's say, 8. Okay, and also let's give some background color. So background color can be vx dot gray 200, and now we can see this, right? But this h stack is again not expanding. Okay, so what I want this entire h stack to expand. So we have this h stack here. Let's expand it as well. Okay, so after this we can say dot expand, not this one. I think we have to expand this part, this Vstack only. So we can just say expand. Yes, so this took the entire space. Now rather than this image, I will use Tower Bridge and London Eye. So what I'll do, I'll add these images here. So I can just say final, pick one, and pick one. I have the pick one already with me. So I'll just copy and paste it over here, and then I can use the pick two. So pick one is here, guys, and similarly I have one more which is pick two, and pick two I'll also copy. So pick two is also here, and what I will do now, I will go and replace this Tower Bridge card, which is the PK image URL, to pick one. Okay, And this is looking fine, but what I want to do here as well, like I want to also make the fit as box fit dot cover. Why? So that it does look better, right? And also guys, it needs some padding. Okay, so what I can do in fact is that we can give some height from here. Okay, 20 dot height work, something like that. This looks better, and this looks fine. This is actually a big image, so that's why it's looking big, and this is looking small. But yeah, this looks all good. Now what we have to do, we have to extract this image from here. Okay, so what I'll do, either you can extract it like this at stack from here to this place, and you can try extracting method is not what I want. I actually want to extract the widget. So what I'll do, I'll create a stateless widget. I will call it travel card. Okay, and I'll just copy this one from here to here. That's what I have to do. So copy and paste over here, which should be fine, and pick one. Obviously it's not there, so I'll create all these fields here. So first field would be the title, then subtitle. These are the two things we are using, and then the image URL. So we need all these three properties, right? So I'll create a constructor for this, and I'll replace the image URL to pick one, title to this tower bridge thing, and subtitle to this south work thing. And yeah, this should work. Okay, this is wrong. Okay, this is all done. Now rather than saying this tower bridge and all these things, let's copy one of them, and let's delete this hstack from here, the entire hstack in fact, and let's use a travel card over here. So travel card, and it takes a image URL, which we can say pick one. It takes a title, which we can say tower bridge. Okay, one second. And it takes a subtitle, which we can say south work. Okay, so string has no instance. Okay, something is wrong probably for some reason. Okay, let's copy this travel card one more time, and this time we will use pick 2, and we will name it London Eye, right? And let's say country hall. Let's do a hot restart. I don't know what is the error it is showing. Okay, this is not working for some reason. Okay, so let's make it a string. Okay, that's why it's not working. Okay, so guys, we got these two things. We will also add a height box. Probably you will use a list view over here rather than this travel card, two travel cards. You will probably have a list, and you will show them here. And we are done with the design, guys. This is pretty much the design which we want. Now let's add some animation, some cool animations. So first animation we will add with this hi Pawan. What we will do, we want it, when we start the app, we want it to come from the left side. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll go to this initial page. I will create a variable called anim is my variable. Okay, and by default I'll give it a value, let's say 1.0. so anim is 1.0. now here in the init state, I will create one animation which I will name with animation. Like this is the method which I'll use. Probably vsync this, because we already have a vsync, because we are already using this sticker provider state mixin. And now we also want to give some callback. Okay, so we also need a tween. So tween, we will use a tween, and it takes a begin and end value. So by default it will be 1.0, and then we have to go to 0.0, which means the original state. I'll show you how that works. And then we need a callback, which will give us animation value and controller value. And then using this animation value, I will set this to anim. Okay, this is pretty smart. Nothing else you have to do, and then you will just call set state. Okay, now how we are gonna animate this hi Pawan? Okay, so we will go to this text, and then we can do something like where is this text? So hyperone is here after this padding. So after this padding, we can set something called offset. Okay, it takes a offset. So offset is basically nothing but the value of x and y. So for x, for y we can just say 0 because we are not changing the position from vertically from y-axis, but we just want to change it from, let's say, let's set it to minus 300. Then you will see it is gone. If I set it to minus 100, then it is on the left side. So minus 300 is probably out of the frame. And but what if I multiply it with animation 2? So animation, okay, not animation 2 or something. So animation 2. So by default we can just take it 0 or whatever you want. We have only one anim. So now what will happen? So by default it will be minus 300, but it will go to 0. Okay. So now if I hot restart it, then you will see what happens. So you can see this. Can you see this? This hyperone is coming from the left somewhere. And this is the first animation which we have added, and this is looking pretty good. You can change the curve or whatever you want. Now the second animation which I want is that whatever tab is selected, okay, that should animate, that should scale itself. Okay, depends on the which tab is selected. Okay, so that will give a cool effect as well. So what I'll do, I'll create another property over here and I will call it anim2 this time. Okay, so again I am gonna set it to 1.0. So now what I'll do, I'll create the similar animation again, but this time it will be a with repeat animation. Okay, so what it will do, it will repeat the animation again and again. Okay, so that's what I want. Now there is one property called is repeat reversed. So I'll say true, which means it will repeat itself, right? And then I want to increase their size as well, right? Scale. So I will start with 2.0 and I will end it 3.0. What I want to say here is that if you go to tab bar, so you can see the size we have set to 30. So rather than I can set it to 10 and then I can scale it depending on the, so scale takes a scale value and I can provide the anim value. So anim value would be either 2.0. So 2.0 to 3.0. So once you will multiply it, so it will be 20 or 30, 20 to 30, right? So if you now hot restart it once, then you will see the animation with this first icon. Okay, this is not animating. Why? Okay, yeah, because we are setting this anim2 animation value, we have to set anim2. Okay, so now if I do a hot restart again, then you should see, okay, you can see this animation, right? And we just want this animation on those like if I select this one, then I want the animation here, but I don't want the animation which is not selected. So how I can achieve that, right? So what I can do, I can probably take some index. Okay, and so I'll go back to my tab view where I have the tab bar view. Okay, this is where we have the tab bar view. So what I can do, I can take an index. Okay, so in the build itself, I can, let's say, have tab index, which can be tab controller dot index. Okay, this is the tab index. What I'll do, I'll check everywhere. So let me do one thing. First of all, for this all these tab controllers, let's apply this logic. Not exactly, but let's change it to 10 first of all everywhere. Okay, so this logic is fine, but we have to do some changes over here. Now this for the scaling part. Okay, we will check if the tab index, okay, if it is 0 for the first icon, if it is 0, then we will use anim value. Otherwise we will use a static value which is 3.0, which means 30. The icon size will be 30, kind of like scaling will be 3 times. Okay, similar stuff we can do for the second one as well, but this time the tab index should be 1. Okay, because everything starts from 0, and for the third one it should be 2, and for the last one it should be 3. So now if I will do that, so you can see the second one is selected and it is animating. If I select the first one, then it is animating. If I select the third one, then it is animating, which is looking perfectly fine. If I select the last one, then it is animating. So what we did, we just give a scale value with checking the tab index, and we already have the tab index over here. And yeah, that's pretty much what we are doing. And that's more or less, we have created the design. And let's see the lines of code. So it ends at, should be 200. Oh, it's not even 200. It's less than like around 190 lines of code, or it can be even lesser if I want to, like, you know, remove few things from here and there. So I made this complete UI with animation in just 190 lines of code. Try it out with your normal flow with your Flutter application, and let me know in the comments how much lines of code it takes. But trust me, this is the power of VelocityX, and this is just the 10% of VelocityX. You can do a lot of things, lot of great stuff with VelocityX, and this is how it can, like, you know, make your life very easy. Although this is just a design, but you can see, like, you might be using this design at a lot of places. And yeah man, like this is just not just about design. VelocityX also offers you utilities and all. So if you loved this video, then press the like button, subscribe to the channel right now, and also go to pub, give a thumbs up to VelocityX, share with your friends this library as well as this video. And yes, keep watching. I'll see you in the next video, and bye bye, take care, see you soon.